Hi, welcome everybody. It's Mike Newton down here at Latham Golf Camp. We've got a brand new product to review for you today, and it's the new TaylorMade P790 iron. So, an iron that's been very popular for TaylorMade. Hollow construction. We saw the introduction of speed foam in there. It's been out for nearly a good 2 years now, so for TaylorMade that's quite a long time, but they've refreshed it. They've got a couple of new bits of technology in here which be interesting to sort of look at in this particular video, and that's exactly what we're going to do. We've got GC quad on the floor as always, so we're going to show you some data of how this iron performs and possibly sort of play it this iron is really aimed at. So just before we jump into the video, if you're watching the videos and you're enjoying the content I'm putting out there, then please consider hitting that subscribe button. Very much appreciated. Ring that bell, get notifications of any future videos. As soon as they land on the channel, you'll be one of the very first ones to watch it. Also, hook up on the social media platforms, both Instagram and Twitter, and the handles there are at NN Golf Coach. Okay, so new P790 iron. So it looks like a bladed club, but it's hollow and it is filled with speed foam, which is obviously what we saw in the previous one. There is some subtle little changes. We're going to talk about this through the irons. But first of all, just putting that down with a golf ball, for me, it's a much better look than the previous P790. A bit more of a player's look this time, just with a sort of toe shaped. It's still sort of medium to thickish top edge and a little bit of offset, but not a massive amount. The colouring of it is lovely, and I think the new finish on the back of it is much improved. Got this polished sole which just runs through the back where that P790 is, and then more that sort of satin, brush sort of satin finish, which looks pretty classy, I think. So this is a 7 iron that I've got here. I'm going to get this first one hit. So this is lofted in at 30.5 degrees of loft, so it's on that stronger side. Okay, not a bad opening shot there. A little bit low in that club face, but accuracy wise, lovely there. But just lost a little bit with that slightly low strike, and that's one thing that we see with the TaylorMade. We've seen this for a few of the models now, is that speed slot. So it's an actual through speed slot into the hollow centre section of the club, which is filled with like a rubber substance there, and that really helps in those low in the face strikes. A little bit like that just helps that little bit flex in those low strikes, just keeps that ball speed up. It's a nice flight, just a little bit of that left side that time. Just going to catch that left edge maybe. Better strike there. So as we know, those little pulley ones all go a little bit further. It's quite a clicky sort of sound. We know we've got sort of speed foam in there, so we lose that sort of hollow sound acoustic wise, even though the hollowness is sort of very much giving us some really good sort of forgiveness across this club face. But it's quite a clicky sound. It's a forged head, but a little bit clicky. It's not a true forged feel or forged sound. Again, nice. Yeah, seems to be getting up around that sort of high 170s on that carry distance there. Again, we're interested to look at spin number, because we know that 30.5 degree of loft, it's on that stronger side, so spin tends to get sacrificed a little bit when the lofts get a bit stronger. That's a lovely strike. Very nice high towering ball flight there. That seems to have gone a bit further there with that better strike. Yeah, look to it sitting pretty quick there, to be fair, on that sort of way it came into land. Whether that's spin or descent angle, we'll have a little look at in a bit more detail. That's carrying like 184, so some good distance there. So one of the main improvements over the previous P790 is the club face. So it's now 7% thinner than the previous model. So typically we should be expecting a little bit more ball speed off the club face than the previous model. Again, I'll probably do a separate comparison video with the old P790. And maybe see if we can actually see that increase of ball speed. Tungsten, which we saw in the previous model, we've got a bar that sits internal behind the hitting area now. That has increased. There's 15% more tungsten in this than the previous model. So again, helping with getting that precise centre of gravity and also pushing that CG low in the club face as it possibly can. Again, really nice ball flight. Yeah, really nice. Okay, going to hit one more shot and then we're going to look at some numbers. But really liking the look of that. It's not hugely different to the previous one in terms of look. I think it's just a better shape in there. Very difficult to see whether that 7% thinner face is actually doing anything. Again, that'll be for another video to compare and try and test. That's a good strike. Yeah, feels really sort of easy to use. And again, I think it ticks a lot of boxes for a lot of golfers. That, you know, you've got that very sort of nice look behind the golf ball, which a lot of golfers will like, but then it looks nice as it's sat there. It looks a bit bladed, but we know it's not. So you've got that ultimate sort of forgiveness in there, and you've got that sort of forged head. So it gives a ticking a lot of boxes, a lot of golf. I think that's where it's been very sort of popular. So typically as you transition from the M series, we see M5 and M6, and then we sort of progress into this is like the first one in the P family, which is the Players family, P790. So you're getting that bit of forgiveness, but you've got more of that Players package in a way. Okay, let's go look at some numbers in a little bit more detail and see how that is performing. Right, okay, so let's look at some of those numbers there. So averaging on ball speed just under that 125 mark, which is pretty typical for me with sort of 7-iron. Launched at 16.5. Couple where I caught them a little bit clean. So that first one, you can see it just drops a little bit of ball speed there. That third one was a little bit clean as well, and so was that fourth one. So just dropping that little bit of ball speed there on that slight low hit gets that launch coming out a little bit lower. Spinning at 5.631. So typical number expect from this type of lofty 7-iron. So there's no sort of surprises there really, but having said that, the peak height it's sort of getting up to like 33 on an average there. You see somewhere around that 37, that's that really good strike launch, a little bit higher, spins in that same area, a bit of ball speed, peaking at 37. You see descent angle at 48 degrees, so it's got a bit of stopping power there through the descent angle, probably more so than the real sort of spin. But combining the two, that seems to be stopping pretty quick really for that type of iron, again with that particular loft, so averaging at 180 on the carry number. Okay guys, so there we go, there's the new P790 iron from TaylorMade. So really very similar looking to what we've seen in the previous one, just got a new sort of cosmetics there, new little bit of a slightly better shaping for my opinion. Obviously some little additions in technology, that 7% extra thinner club face, a little bit more, 15% more heavier tungsten in there, so be interesting to sort of see when I pitch that up against the previous P790 if we're actually seeing those differences of what they've added in there. But post comments down below, let me know your thoughts as always with the new range of TaylorMade P790. Love to hear your thoughts as always. So if you haven't watched the video, as I said before, and you haven't subscribed, very much appreciate you doing so. Hit that subscribe button, ring that bell for future notifications, and hopefully we'll catch up with you all very soon.